We are taking them already all the way to Cincinnati, as a matter of fact. Any of you going to Cincinnati with us?
We were there last weekend.
This is cool.
There we come to the
Very good.
Very good. Very
Oh,
good.
that really good.
So you're going to Cincinnati. It's got an iron hook and a spike on the end of it. Most suitable for piping us off the bank here. And the folks at Grand Rapids, when they built the carriage bridge there, put it right in the middle of the canal. And so now we have to go in at a bit of an angle into the lock. And so that pipe pole is very useful for making sure that we get the boat angled in properly. And making our way towards St. Mary's, we're going to rise up in elevation nearly 300 feet. We're also going to drop another 500 feet from St. Mary's back to Cincinnati and the Ohio River. So the lock is in place to get us up and down like stair steps, to move us up and down as we make our way down the state. So how this is going to work, you folks can see the gates here as we're going past. These large gates are called whaler gates. There's another set directly in front of us. Once we get the boat inside the lock, we'll close these whaler gates. With human power, we'll push them closed. I'm going to use my washboard as an example to show you how this works. So the washboard here is going to be my whaler gate. My hand will be the wicket gate that's under the water. Once we close these gates, we'll go to the front. On the other side of those gates, the water is 4 feet higher than where we are currently. We're going to turn handles on top, and that wicket is going to open up like this. So it'll open up like this. This is my wicket. And once that happens, the water on the other side will begin to flow in to the lock. As it flows in, you're going to see and feel the boat start to rise up. Now, many of you might be aware that water naturally goes to seek its own level. What that means is once it comes in here, it won't go any higher than the water on the other side of the gate. And once the level is equal on both sides, we'll be able to push those large gates open, and we'll be at the same level as the other side of the gates there, and we'll be able to continue on our journey to get you folks to Cincinnati and other places heading south and west.
Okay, it's going to shut here in a second.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she's trying to over.
That'll be breakfast tomorrow.
It's shooting!
In defiance. We'll be there in about 8 hours. I'm going up top. Make sure you keep your seats so no one else steals them. And you watch your hands, your feet, and in a moment you're going to feel the boat start to rise up. It might bump a bit. Should that happen, I do have a thunder bucket here that you can use. This is, it's called the thunder bucket because it's the sound you make if you have to use it. If you get a bit queasy and get an upset tummy as the boat's bouncing around, it is here for your use. If you use it, you are responsible for cleaning it up. Always keep that in mind. I believe the boat is starting to rise up. I'll be back in a moment and I'll help answer questions at that point. get into the lock. So in order to get out of the lock now, we have to pick up a new team of mules. And so myself and Miss Hamilton, we're that new team of mules to pull the boat out of the lock. You've missed breakfast by quite a bit. Supper will be about sundown. We do have a treat for you. Miss Hamilton is cooking up a fine muskrat stew for you tonight. Now, the low bridge horn, you may have heard. I'll share more about that in a moment. Some of you noticed this fellow. This is what we call a polecat. Many folks call them skunks, yes. Yes. Now, Miss Hamilton will start boiling this tonight. And we'll have this one for breakfast tomorrow. Want to get acquainted with your breakfast?
Thank goodness we're that. I don't want to eat it.
Now for a stinky critter, he has a soft mouth. Now that low bridge horn, that serves two very important purposes. Several of you are big concerned about eating muskrat, and not sure why, but you are. Now, the low bridge horn does notify farmers and merchants who are in the area that we are approaching the bridge. And if they have, and if they're ready to come out, if they have any produce for us, or some eggs, perhaps a fresh loaf of bread, maybe even a pie if we're really fortunate, they can bring that out. They'll bring a bucket with a rope on it and they can lower that down to us. We can take what we need out of there, drop some coin in payment, and that would make a nice supplement to that muskrat that you get yourselves acquainted with there. Now I don't see anyone up there, but no worries. I'm sure we'll find someone at one of the other bridges that we're passing under. That low bridge horn is also very useful for notifying folks who are topside that we are approaching the bridge and that they'll know to duck down or come back down here below the deck. Ever seen a fight between a bridge and a human being?
No.
Who wins?
The
The bridge wins every time. We don't want folks getting their knowledge boxes any more than necessary, so we do want to make sure they're aware that the bridge is approaching. Well, now, what's going on here?
Are we turning around? Let's get some bumps.
Well, it does appear that we're turning around, yes. Now, I'm a bit concerned about that for a few reasons. One is it's illegal to turn around in this part of the canal. I'm also concerned that going at such a high rate of speed, we may start spinning out of control like a top. If that happens, we need to run against you to make sure that's available for you. I'm also worried we'll get mud marked. If we get mud marked and stuck, we might be here a while, and the other boats would come by, and they would be none too happy that we blocked their way for sure.
Turning around now.
Both said they wanted to go to Cincinnati, and it's that direction. Forgot something. In Providence. What did we forget?
We forgot 12 crates of live chickens.
We're good at the wall.
Assumed they were on board. I heard all this squawking and I didn't double check.
Squawking.
Chicken.
Miss, go ahead like 12 crates of live chickens.